Hi guys, how are we doing? So hopefully it's going to go a little bit better than Facebook. Basically, I want to share with you about time blocking. The last couple of weeks, I've done a couple of social media posts about time blocking. I've had a couple of people inquire and ask how I actually do it. One of those was Alistair. I had a phone call with Alistair during the week and I went through this with him, and that gave me the idea to turn it into a PowerPoint presentation and share it with you guys so it can actually help you. So let me set this up. You should be able to see the screen now. So what is time blocking? Basically, time blocking is helping you manage your time to help you achieve the goals that you want to achieve. So it's just setting up your week in a structure that allows you to get everything done and yeah, on your road to success, basically. So the first thing that I'll do is I'll do something called mind dumping. Now, mind dumping is when I'll literally get everything out of my head that I've been thinking about. So whatever it is, I'll write it down onto a bit of paper. Now, if you're like me, I've got 3 different businesses I've got. So I don't just have Intuitive Fitness. I've got a property portfolio and I've got another business, Swalings. And there's a lot of stuff going on in my head of different tasks and things that I need to do. And that can often get quite overwhelming. But if I write it down and get it all out of my head, that actually eliminates a lot of the stress. It's quite refreshing to get it all out. Because what I'll find is I'll be thinking about something. My mind will go and think onto another task that I've got to do. I'll then go back and think about the original task I'm thinking about, and my mind starts to think, oh my God, I've got so much to do, and it escalates, and all of a sudden the head's going to explode because it's got so much going on. But in reality, when you write it down on paper and you get it all out of your head, it's not as much as you actually think it is. There's still a lot to do, but it's nowhere near as much as what your mind's made out to think it is. So I've got everything down, write it down, and that helps stop some of the overwhelm and the stress when you can see it on paper and you can start to organize it. So some of the things that you need to write down, or some of the things you're thinking of, might be pay the electricity bill. You've got to phone Peter about a business proposal. You've got to get your workouts in. You've got to pay your TV subscription. You've got to check your online banking. You've got a business meeting with Tony. I've got to prepare for a business meeting with Tony. I've got to do my food shopping. I've got to check the property accounts. I've got to pay the medical bills. I've got to respond to emails. I've got to post on social media. You can see how this gets overwhelming when you're thinking about it in your head all the time. So there's a whole list of different things. Thinking about these aren't actual real people or completely real things that I've written down. It's just for illustrative purposes. But that's all the sort of things that people are thinking about, whether it's picking up the kids from school, going to the after-school activity, just everything that you've got to do in your life that you're thinking about that you have to do. Get it all down on paper, and then we're going to structure it and systemize it. It's going to help us achieve our goals. So once I've written it all down on paper, what I'll then do is I'll go and group related things together. So for example, the first thing, I've got all the financial things that I need to do. So I've got to pay the electricity bill, I've got to pay the water bill, I've got to check my mortgage payments, I've got to check online banking to make sure the income that I'm earning from Beachbody Intuitive Fitness is coming into the bank account. I'll make sure the bills that are set up automatically are going out, things like that. I've got to check my property accounts and check all the different things associated with that. I'll pay a medical bill, pay the TV description. So I group it all together so it's one task. So all the finances are together. I do the same with the phone calls. So everyone that I've thought about that I need to ring during the week. So ringing the plumber, I've got to put the gardener for next week. I've got to phone Peter about a business proposal. I've got to phone Trevor. I've got to call my mum about what's happening next week and arrange all the details for that. I've got all the emails. I've got to respond to an accountant that's emailed me. I've got to respond to whatever emails I know that I've been thinking about. I need to go group all those together. Then I've got my business tasks I need to do. So I know I've got a meeting with Tony related to a business venture that I've got going on. I've also got to prepare for that business meeting as well. So to make sure I've got my PowerPoints, my notes and stuff ready, give myself time to really think about it and be in a position to handle that meeting when I meet with him. I've got to post on social media. I've also got to film my workouts and stuff because that's all related to the new business that we've started. And I've got all my personal tasks, things like booking a Tough Mudder, purchase Think and Grow Rich. I've got to put the car up for sale. I've got to go and pick up a computer from the repair shop. I've got to walk the dogs. I've got to do my food shopping. It's all grouped together. It's all personal stuff. Then I've got all the follow-ups. So all the people that have inquired to me on Instagram, on Facebook, and any client things I've got to do. I'm thinking about who I need to respond to, what I've got to respond to and stuff. Get that all down and link it together because it's all the same sort of task. It's all related together. So when I'm in the mind frame to reply to those, I just go and knock all those responses out at one time, rather than doing a response here, a response there, a phone call here and a phone call there. I'm in that mind frame, and I'll knock it out in one go when I set my week up. And then I've got my personal development I want to get done. I want to get on the phone call, which we're hosting, make sure we're in that. And then obviously the Ignite training, Ignite 30, I want to book that into my diary for the week. So after I've done that, the next task I'll do is I'll actually go and look at each thing and see how long it takes to do each task. So for example, the electricity bills, it's going to take 5 minutes. By the time I've logged into the computer, put the bank details in, click send, it takes about 5 minutes. Same with the water bill, checking the mortgage payments. And what I'll find is when I group it together, instead of paying the electricity bill here and the water bill over there and doing it at different times, each time I do that, it's going to take me 5 minutes. If I actually group it together and do it in one task, I'm already logged into my account. So it's not going to take me the time to set up the computer and log in and everything. It's there, so it actually saves me time because I'm doing it all together in one group, so I can knock all those bills out in about 5 minutes rather than 5 minutes for each task. But for this purpose, just say each thing's going to take me 5 minutes. Now, I've got to check my property accounts. Now, my property accounts, obviously, I've got a business with different properties and stuff. That's going to take me a little bit longer to do, so that's going to take me about 30 minutes to do everything that I need to do on there. Now, with the business meeting with Tony, that's going to take me an hour for the actual meeting. That's how much time we've booked out. I've booked it into 11 o'clock on Wednesday. It's going to take me an hour. And then, but to be ready for that meeting, it's going to take me about 2 hours. I've got to put the presentation together. I've got to make sure I've checked all my notes and stuff. That's going to take 2 hours. And then with my social media posts, that's going to be daily. It's going to take me about 20 minutes. So I've written in there daily, because I've got to block that out on a daily basis. And then my workouts for social media, filming those can take about 15 minutes as well. And so you can see on there, I've just put a time next to everything that I need to do. So after I've done that, the next thing I'll do is I will think about what my goals are and what I'm trying to achieve. Now, I can do a whole topic on goal setting. This is just illustrative purposes. You can have weekly goals, monthly goals, your annual goals, your 5-year goals. So what I'll do is I'll look at my goals and see what they are, whether it's weekly or monthly, and think, like, what is going to help me achieve my goals this week? What's going to take me one step closer? And there's a list of questions that I ask myself when I'm setting up my week. I'll go through now. So what are the most important tasks to help me achieve my goal? So there's some things that you've got on your to-do list that aren't going to help you get towards your goal. Things like grocery shopping or picking the car up from the mechanics and stuff. That's not really helping you achieve your goal. So what is really important? Making those phone calls to prospective clients, filling in or responding to people on social media, doing your social media posts. Those are most important to helping you achieve your goal. So what are the most important activities that must be done? So when I've done that 5 minutes and written next to them how long it's going to take, I'll actually put a star next to them if they're a little bit more important. I couldn't do that on the laptop, but when I write it down on my sheet of paper, I've got a little star telling me that it's important. Now, what is urgent and important, and what is important but not urgent? Now, the difference there is, say I've got a bill that's come in, and it's an electricity bill, and it says, you haven't paid your bill, you're going to be cut off tomorrow. If I get cut off from the electricity, can't work. So that is urgent and it's important. So that's something I'm going to put in my diary. First thing that needs to be done, make sure that bill is paid. Something that's important but not urgent would be, okay, we've got a family gathering next week and I need to ring my mum about the details of that. Yes, it's important. I want to spend time with my family and stuff, but it's not urgent. I can do that later in the week. I don't have to do it first thing. So that is sort of the question that I'll be asking myself when I'm looking at everything that I've got down. The next question I ask myself is, what can I delegate? What can I give to somebody else that I don't need to do? Something like, say, for example, the laptop that I need to pick up from town. I'm not going into town this week. I have no plan to go into town, but I know somebody that's going to town, whether it's a brother or anyone that's going in. You ask them if they can pick the laptop up for you, and that's going to save you time going into town and picking it up. Or it could be with social media posts, or you've got different tasks, whether it's setting up a website and things, you can delegate that to your team. So actually in my diary, I have an hour in the morning where I speak to my virtual assistant in India, and we have an hour-long meeting every day, and I go through all the different tasks that I've actually delegated out to people, and she actually delegates the tasks to other people on the team for me. So I'm delegating to someone to delegate it to someone else. So I think about what someone else can do that allows me to free up my time. But what's most important to me? Achieving my goals and working towards getting where I want to go. And if it's an easy task that I don't need to do, I can delegate it to somebody else. And then I think about what doesn't help me to achieve my goals. And okay, the car I need to get fixed is not going to help me achieve my goal, but it is something that I need to do. I'll put it in there. But say, for example, I don't know, what have I written down? I've written down something that doesn't help me achieve my goal. Can I get rid of it? I don't know. Go and buy a football kit from the shop. Is it going to help me achieve my goals? No. Is it something that I have to do? No. Okay, so just bin it and get rid of it. If I'm in town sometimes shopping, I want to go and pick it up, but it's not important, so I don't need to time block it. Just get rid of it. Now, the system that I use to do this, I use Outlook. The reason I use Outlook is because it's on my phone. The email address it's on my computer. The email address links it to my phone. So during the week, I can have it on my phone, and when I'm out and about and doing my tasks and stuff, it comes up on my phone, and it sends me reminders on my phone. So at 7:45, it will say what I've got to do at 8 o'clock, and there's a little notification that comes up at the top. So it's prompting me what's coming up next. The other thing with being able to do it on your computer, you can color coordinate it so that all the phone calls are in orange, all your financial tasks are in green, or however you set it up. The other thing that I do is I repeat daily tasks. So say, for example, I've got my workouts at 5:30 in the morning. I set that up for the whole year. I've just repeated it throughout the whole year so that I know in that time slot, that's it. I'm committed to doing that, and it's there, and it saves me every Sunday having to write it in for that time slot and doing it. So when I come to actually show you my calendar in a minute, you'll see those are already in there because it's something that I'm committed to doing on a daily basis. You don't have to use Outlook. You can use any calendar you want. It's just that what I use and what I find easiest. So if you have another calendar that links to your phone as well as your laptop, you can use that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to go into my diary and show you how I set it up. That's a week that's just gone by. So this is a week in the future. Okay. So this is a week in the future that I've got set up. Now, this is a little bit of a cheat that you might want to use as well. I set my alarm for 5 o'clock every morning because I'm worst at getting up in the morning. I always hit the snooze button. Now, I know I'm going to do that. Now, I'm actually a lot better. I used to be getting up at 7, 8 o'clock. Now, what I do is I set my alarm at 5, but my aim is to be out of bed by 5:30. So it allows me to hit that snooze button a couple of times. So I get up at bed at 5:30. If I set my alarm at 5:30, I know I'm going to hit that snooze button. And it's going to be 6 o'clock before I get out of bed. So by setting it at 5, I'm out of bed by 5:30. I then got my workouts in there. I'm committed to doing them on a weekly basis, on a daily basis. They're there. I've got that done. I then got my social media. That's on a daily basis because I want to promote this business. I want to show my results and my journey. That's a time slot in there. I then put the walk the dogs in the beach on a daily basis. I've got another social media post. It's just showing lifestyle and stuff when I'm down there. What I do after that is I do what I call set my personal intention. So it's just half an hour at a time. I sometimes do it down at the beach or I just do it in my bedroom. It's just time for me to focus on my goals, do my manifestations and visualizations and think about what I want to achieve in my life. And that helps me get into a positive mind frame and set myself up for the day. I'll also look at my calendar. After that, I'll have breakfast and I will do my other social media post. The reason that's all set up as well is that is my time. That is before I have to speak to anybody else, is before I have to respond to anyone else, before anybody else steals my time. So I want to make sure that I've done what I want to do personally, get it done out of the way before anyone else can steal my time and get me doing other things. Okay, so then what I do is I normally do this on a Sunday evening. Now, what I've come to do now is because I know how to do this and I've been doing it for a while, I will actually, during the week, I will actually put stuff into different time blocks and stuff, and I'll do mind dumping through the week and I'll add it to a time block for next week. But I've just set this up to be a blank canvas for illustrative purposes. So what I'll do is I know that on Wednesday I've got a meeting with Tony, and I knew that was an hour long, so I had that in my diary. I probably already got it in my diary because we set the meeting up last week. So meeting Tony. I'll add that in there, and that's from 11 till 12, and that's there. Now, I know that it's going to take me half an hour, because the meeting's in town. It's going to take me half an hour to find parking, get into town, so I'm ready for the meeting. So I'll put travel time in there beforehand, and I'll put travel time after the meeting as well. Okay, so that's good. That's my time block for there. Now, I also know that I had to prepare for that meeting with Tony, and that was going to take 2 hours. So what I'll do is I'll look at my diary. Now, this is blank, but normally I'd have things already in the diary. So I'd look and see before that meeting on Tony, where I have a 2-hour time block to put in 2 hours of time to work on the Tony meeting. So this, I've got 2 hours here, so I'm going to put in Tony. Now that I put down is going to take me 2 hours, but what I actually do here is I put 2 hours and 30 minutes. Okay. Now the reason I've done that is I've built in what I call fudge factor time. Now, fudge factor time is time that allows me to say, I don't know, say the internet's not working or something at the start. When I come to do this at 10 o'clock, the internet's not working. I can't go and look up something that I need to get done for that. By the time the internet's back on, it's pushed me back half an hour, and I've lost that time. If I built in half an hour extra, it gives me the time that I'm not panicking thinking, shit, I'm running out of time here. I know I've got an extra half an hour that I can get it done. The other thing is, if it takes me less than the 2 hours, or it takes me the 2 hours and I've got that extra half hour fudge time, I can then move. I can look at my diary and see what else I've got planned, and I can possibly bring it forward and put it into that time slot. And it's just buying myself time without putting too much pressure on myself to get everything done. So that's didn't mean to do that. Where have we gone? I'll turn that into a important. The next thing is I know that I had a whole load of phone calls to make. So I look at the phone call list, and now with the phone calls, there were some phone calls that were, I can make a lot of phone calls in a quick period of time. So like phoning the plumber, for example, phoning the electrician, phoning the gardener, they're all related phone calls. I can just knock out one after the other. If I've got an important phone call, like ringing the bank manager or something, I'll probably keep that out to one side and put it into its own time block. It's going to take me a lot longer. I probably need to prepare for that phone call first. So I will put that into its own time block. But for all the phone calls I can relate together, I'll put them in here. So I'll put in phone calls from 9 till 9:30. And then what I'll do is I'll click into here. I'll actually write all the different phone calls that I need to make. So ring the electrician, ring the plumber, and ring the gardener. Okay. The chances are those phone calls are only going to take 5 minutes, but I'll put it in there for half an hour. That's because during that phone call, I guarantee the gardener won't pick up or get an answering message or whatever. So I have to ring him back a couple of times. So just give myself enough time to do that. What I'll also do is, for example, some of the phone calls, I can do them when I'm on the road. So during my travel time, I also call that net time, because during net time, you can use it to do your audio books. So I often listen to books when I'm in the car. That's my learning time, education time. So it's a time where I can just think about something else, or I will make certain phone calls. If it's an important phone call to the bank where I need to be fully concentrated on it, I won't do it in travel time. But if it's a phone call, it is important because it's my mum, but if it's not as important, I need to be fully concentrated on it. I can put that phone call in that travel time. I'll do that there, and I'll change it colour to show it that it's a phone call. I need to change the phone calls as well. So that's there. Now, with the other phone call, it was a financial phone call and it's specific, so I'll put phone bank in there, and that's going to be my half hour time slot. Now, I'll also, so what I do is I'm going to fill my fill my day out or fill my week out and build in all these different time slots. So I'm just going to go to a week that I've already done and finished. You can see there that I've filled my whole week up. Now, what I tend to do is at the beginning of the week, I will try and get all my tasks done on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'll fill those days up. On Sunday, I'll fill those days up, unless I've got specific meetings on Thursday and Friday that I've had to put into my time slot. What I'll do is I get everything done Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so that Thursday and Friday, as again, it's like fudge time. I can actually, say for example, I'm going to have my meeting with Tony, and then there's work that I need to do from that meeting. He's asked me for some details and stuff. I can put that into Thursday and Friday slot so that I can then get it back to him. So if I've got everything out of the way Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I've got those days to catch up on it. And then obviously if I've got meetings on Thursday and Friday, I then make sure that those time, or anything that comes out of those meetings are in my time blocks on Monday and Tuesday. Now again, so if I've got different tasks in here, let's just put in, I don't know, got a business meeting here. Probably. So I've got a business meeting there till 2 o'clock. Save that. I will then give myself fudge time again, so I won't put anything, because the meetings do tend to go over some, especially in Antigua, nothing's on time. So just give myself that half an hour time block before I put anything else into the next time frame. So what I'll do is go shopping. So that'll be my food shopping. So what I'll also do when I'm setting it all up, I'll look at all my tasks. So I go back to the PowerPoint. So when I'm looking at all these things, I'll try and think about if I've got to go into town and I've got a meeting in town, what else did I need to do in town? If I haven't delegated, I'm picking up the laptop, I'll tag that onto that time block as well. So I'm in town to meet Tony. Half hour after that can be the time that I go and pick up the laptop, or the half hour after that is the time I go and do my food shopping because it's in town and it's close to the meeting. So I try and relate things together, so I'm saving myself time and I'm not doing things all over the place. I don't want to go to a meeting in town with Tony, come home, do 2 hours work, and then have to go back into the town to do the food shopping, because that's just a waste of time. So I'd rather set my day up that I've had the meeting, done my food shopping, and then I'll do the extra half hour work at the end of the day, because we can set up our day how we want. So I don't think there's any more slides on there. No, I think that's I've covered everything there, guys. So I hope that was informative. If you've got any questions, let me know. It was quite quick, I think. But if you have any questions, let me know and I'll try and help you. We can build on this and we can add more into it. Do something on goal setting and things as well to help you. But give me your feedback, guys. And thank you very much.